Украина заявила о своих.
Russian leader Vladimir Putin invaded Ukraine after a speech on February 24th, calling it a special military operation. Within hours, air raid sirens were heard over Kyiv. People sheltered in subway stations as Russian forces attacked but failed to take the capital. Western leaders responded with economic sanctions.
We are ceasing all export permits for Russia and canceling existing permits.
The southern city of Mariupol offered stark images of the Russian invasion. On March 16th, a week after striking a maternity hospital, there was a Russian air assault on a theater housing hundreds of people. From above, the word children was painted next to the building. By the end of March, Russia changed its tactics, pulling out of Kyiv and focusing efforts in the eastern part of the country, known as the Donbass. But as Russian troops retreated, human rights investigators revealed evidence of war crimes. In early April, in the town of Bucha, hundreds of civilians are said to have been found in mass graves or their bodies left in the streets, many showing signs of torture.
He's a war criminal, sir. Are you ready to call him a war criminal?
I think he is a war criminal.
As the fighting continued into the summer, a standoff over Ukrainian grain supplies threatened world food security. By July 22nd, a mediated deal sees their release. That month, Western European nations were concerned about natural gas supplies as Gazprom, Russia's state-controlled energy company, began limiting exports via the Nord Stream pipeline. Gas exports slowed down once again on August 31st for several days as Gazprom cites scheduled maintenance. On September 21st, Putin calls a partial mobilization of 300,000 reservists. During that month, Ukrainian counteroffensives gained back territory in northeast Kharkiv, and Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky raised the country's flag in the city of Izium. On November 9th, Russian soldiers retreated from Kherson.
We're going to be providing Ukraine with Patriot missile battery.
4 days before Christmas, Zelensky made what is said to be his first trip outside of the country, visiting Washington. There, he secured U.S. Patriot missile systems. The calls for military support continued in the new year as Ukraine pushed NATO countries, including Canada, to supply tanks. And as the year anniversary approached, U.S. President Joe Biden marked the West's commitment to stand by Ukraine by making a surprise visit to Kyiv earlier this week. Kyle Benning, Global News.